I've had a lot of people ask about this hydraulic clutch setup. What's your thoughts on it? Should I buy one? Well, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, when I first got it, I wasn't overly impressed because it's not really my cup of tea. I'm more of a cable driven, kind of guy. But with that being said, I know that a lot of you like your hydraulic clutch. So I gave it a shot, I installed this thing, and I think it's time that we do a little bit of a review. So let's see what we think about this. What are you doing? You're making a mess, baby. No. Oh my God. Don't mind all the tie-dye stuff going on over here, guys. It's just one of those days. All right, so let's talk about the Retro Fox today. Now, this is one of my favorite cars to drive. It's got a very simple setup. It's got a B303 cam. It's got a supercharger and exhaust on it, pretty much, with some SVE heads that you, well, no longer can get anymore. When I put the hydraulic clutch in this thing, it did change some stuff. If you get a new car with a hydraulic clutch setup, it's gonna act different than something with a cable operated clutch, right? And that was something that took me a little while to get used to on this. So one of the big questions is, how is the pedal feel? Is it substantially lighter than a cable? Well, to be completely honest, no, not in my car, it's not. It's a little lighter, but it's not like super light in comparison. It's not like getting in like a 4-cylinder Honda or something like that, right, with a 5-speed. Don't expect that type of clutch, but it is a little lighter. But now what I want to do is talk to you guys about how the clutch operates. It's not the same as a cable. The way that this thing responds to input from your foot is a little different, right? This is actually, though, a completely new pedal assembly. Okay, you can see how this thing operates. See me pushing the pedal here? All right, and then there's your hose right there. But the point is, this thing looks pretty much completely stock. Okay, but here's the difference, and this is what I want you guys to know about the hydraulic setup over a cable driven setup. How can I explain this? This is why it's taking me so long to do this video, because it's really hard to explain the feel of this. I'm gonna use the word spongy, but not in a bad way, meaning it keeps the same feel, the same pedal feel, the same consistency all the way through. It's not easier to start with, nor does it get easier as you push the clutch down a little further. It's pretty much consistent, which I think a lot of you guys like, and that's why, so many people like the hydraulic clutch setup. It's not a hard clutch to operate, but it does feel different. So this is one of the first things that I realized about this clutch setup. When you first install, chances are at least, when you first install this clutch, it's gonna feel a little different to you. There's a good chance that when you take off, the car is gonna snatch and buck and act crazy and things like that. At least it did it for me anyway. And I think I have finally figured out the reason why. Now, this is my opinion on this. When you push your foot down, right, you're in first gear, you put your foot down, right, put it in first, and you go to let off of it. A lot of times, I feel like, well, I know I do anyway, and I think some of you guys do as well, because Andrew drove the car and it did the same thing with him. You don't pull your foot completely off the clutch. You leave your foot resting slightly on the clutch when you leave from first gear, when you take off. And then that way you can just immediately go to second. Well, the problem is this thing has, it takes such little input on the clutch pedal itself that when you go to take off, if the car, with the cam starts to do this, then your foot's gonna bounce. And if your foot bounces at all, this thing is gonna, it'll break your neck. Anyway, all of that's somewhat irrelevant, okay? That goes with a hydraulic clutch setup. Once you figure that out and you go ahead and you come basically completely off of the clutch before you go to second gear, you can alleviate all of that bucking and snatching and all of that, right? So I don't want to mislead you guys, but I really do think that where the hydraulic is going to shine is when you go to a really heavy clutch, because I just don't think it's going to get a lot harder. But I will tell you guys this, I'm getting used to it and I'm starting to like it. I have two manual cars. One is a cable and one is hydraulic. Getting in and out of those two cars, it's just, I have to remember which does what, right? They feel completely different. I want you to know this ahead of time. You're gonna have to take some measurements when it comes to a setup like this. Doing it in your driveway, and maybe you're not, super hip on taking measurements with a micrometer and stuff like that, or a set of calipers, it could be challenging. But if you do your research, it's not hard to do. I'm going to try to take you guys for a short drive here in a few minutes. That's not good. I know everybody's going to like ask, where's your seatbelt? My seatbelt's actually lodged under the seat. One of the things that I want to talk about that I mentioned before is when releasing the clutch. You need to really go ahead and release the clutch pretty quickly on this, because if you don't and the car starts to buck like this and you got your foot on it, you see what I'm saying? It's bad because your foot bounces. Here's the trick to it. Just go ahead and get the car to leave, and it still gets me every once in a while. We'll just go right down the road real quick. It takes some getting used to, guys. It's a little different on the pedal wheel.
I'm gonna hold it like this, but I gotta make sure I get it.
Yeah. So yeah, we can still grab gears with a hydraulic clutch setup. What you think about that, Madison?
That was fun.
That was fun?
Yeah. I didn't expect that.
Yeah.
I wasn't ready. I don't even have my seatbelt on.
So, and yes, this car is on drag radials.
I feel like I should probably put my seatbelt on.
Probably should.
Probably. I don't know if this camera's staying straight or not when you do that.
All right, that's enough. You guys get it. We're gonna end up getting a damn ticket. But I'll say this: if you're trying to power shift a car, I actually prefer the hydraulic clutch because it's so responsive. It's so quick. We gotta show some love to our neighbors over here. But as far as normal driving, guys, it's great. No issues there. Just know this, it's going to take some getting used to. That's all I can tell you. I can't explain to you exactly how the clutch operates, but what I can tell you is it's just a different feel. Those of you that are looking for a hydraulic clutch setup, I definitely think this is an option for you, okay? We're going to go ahead and wrap this one up before I get a ticket. Because I like to show out for the camera, right? We all do.
Obviously.
Yeah, obviously. So we'll go ahead and we'll wrap this one up, guys. Check out Handling Motorsports if you're interested in one of these kits. I think you'll like it. And we'll catch you in the next one. And as always, thanks for watching. Alright, we'll try to hit second gear a little quicker this time. See if we can do it.
Oh goodness, okay. Hold on. I turn the camera.
Whoa, she's nasty, baby. She's nasty. That's what I'm talking about.
I think I actually kept the camera straight this
You
time.
think so?
I hope so.
Alright. Peace out.